This is Donald Trump's worst nightmare, and it is scaring him to death. 12 to 15 million people out in Iran from Tehran to Qom. You have mourners and Iranians showing solidarity after the death of Ayatollah Khamenei. We showed you, it set the Guinness Book of Records as the most people in a funeral like in the history of humankind. But let's zoom in on what some of these signs say, and you can see for yourself what's actually going down. As you zoom in, there are signs like this: "We will end you, Donald. Thank you for your attention to this matter!" Exclamation point. "There will be blood." This one over here, which reads, you could read it for yourself. Another one you can read for yourself. There were lots of people out there in Tehran and in Qom that were hanging Donald Trump in effigy. You see right there. Also, J.D. Vance on "There will be blood" signs. Of course, there were lots of signs as well for other individuals. You saw signs, "Wanted," photos of Donald Trump and Netanyahu side by side. Lots of signs like this. You could read it for yourself what it says. Hashtag, you can read it for yourself what it says. This was seen during the funeral procession of the Iranian leader, the banner. It's what you've been seeing over and over again. You can see for yourself what's going on there. Let's play the video so you can see what they did with this banner. You take a look right here at Inghalib Square in Tehran. It's a wallpaper with people's handprint oath for revenge. Then Iran's SNSC secretary, Mohammad Bagher Zolgadar, issued the following statement: "To the delusional president of America, who today threatened 91 million Iranians, I say, before this, as the president of a rootless country with a 250-year history, you had spoken in similar language about wiping out Iran's several thousand-year-old civilization, and the result for you was nothing but defeat, desperation, and a request for negotiation and a ceasefire. The Iranian people are strangers to the language of threats, so speak to the people of Iran with respect. Otherwise, we will respond to you in another language," and respond indeed, as the United States was trying to encourage tankers to exit through a non-IRGC regulated route in the Strait of Hormuz. Iran struck 2 ships last night in the Strait of Hormuz for not complying with the Memorandum of Understanding, which says Iran controls the Strait of Hormuz. Whether you like or don't like the fact that Iran controls the Strait of Hormuz, that's clearly what's in the Memorandum of Understanding. And ever since that was entered, Donald Trump in the United States has been trying to breach it and has consistently breached it. Among other things, there has still been constant attacks in southern Lebanon by Israel, which was a non-starter before the MOU was entered, and there was a deconfliction cell that was entered into in Switzerland by J.D. Vance, the Iranians, Pakistan, and Qatar. And then, of course, there was the article dealing with Iran controlling the Strait of Hormuz with the Arab nations. So the procession began in Tehran. It began at a very large mosque there where there were millions of people. Then the next day of ceremony, yesterday into today, is in a place called Qom, Q-O-M, at the Jamkaren Grand Mosque in Qom. I'll show you what that looked like right here. It was packed with people waiting for the funeral 7 hours even before it started. Let me show you what it looked like in Qom. You can see for yourself right here. Let's play it. که مشاهده می‌کنید صحن جامع مهدوی در مسجد مقدس جمکران که قرار است مراسم وداع و بدرقه و همچنین اقامه نماز بر پیکر امام شهید در این محل. I'm going to show you another video of what it looked like in Qom, and this was taken around 1:30 a.m. in the morning in Iran. You can see this overhead of Qom. Let's play it. I'll just show you. This was from the Iranian Broadcasting Network. As the funeral procession in Tehran continued until about 5 p.m., then that closed. The next one began in QOM. You can see this Iranian newscaster on the helicopter showing what it looked like on the streets of Tehran as the procession took place there. Let's show you what that looked like so you can see it for yourself.
من از فراز آسمان تهران برای شما گزارش می‌کنم. آنچه که از این بالا می‌توان مشاهده کرد
I want to show you two videos now. There was a banner against the United States with a picture of Trump. First, I'll show you people throwing things at it. And then the next video are people ripping it down. First, I'll show you the video of people throwing things at it. Let's play it. Next, I'll show you a video of people ripping it down. You can see for yourself right here. We're hearing a statement from someone close to Iran. The U.S. has to pay the price for killing Iranians. Revenge is not all about emotions and satisfaction, but deterrence from further attacks. This is what millions of Iranians are chanting these days, in days and nights. As I noted, there were 2 tankers that were hit by Iran, and obviously things are escalating. When we look at what's happening in the Strait of Hormuz as well, you take a look at the vessel finder data right now, which is also confirmed by Marine Traffic, which does the vessel finder. Virtually 0 tankers that are now exiting anywhere other than the Iranian route, because Iran's been very clear. You go through the other route, we're going to strike your ship. While all of this is taking place as well, it should be noted that U.S. crude stocks, which is in Cushing, Oklahoma, that's the Strategic Petroleum Reserve in the United States, fell by another 6.2 million barrels in the week ending July 3rd, dropping to 319.5 million barrels, the lowest level obviously since April 1983, according to Department of Energy data reported by Reuters. Once it hits 150 million barrels, the Strategic Petroleum Reserve literally physically collapse, as in it will not function anymore, as Philip Pilkington makes clear. And we're probably going to hit that in the next 60 days at this point. It's something that I've been warning about. Just because the Strait of Hormuz is fake open, I say fake open because it's not really open, and that's not filling the strategic reserves. We're still drawing down the strategic reserves because of what went down in the Strait of Hormuz. And as I've been saying, the crude market, Brent and WTI, that's kind of like a futures market. That's different than the refinery price, right? So we've been talking about the difference, the delta between the price of crude and the price of the refinery. They call that the crack splits that are taking place. And I've been raising this. I've been raising these red flags. The reserve has been drained steadily since Trump ordered the release of 172 million barrels in March to plug gaps in global supply and hold down fuel prices. The whole thing's just being manipulated. It's a fugazi. It's a scam. It's a sham. Since the war began at the end of February, total U.S. inventory, commercial and strategic combined, have fallen nearly 121 million barrels. And then you see right here as well, it should be noted too, for the first time in roughly a decade, an Iranian civilian airliner flew directly from Tehran to Sana'a in Yemen to bring officials from the Houthi-led government to Ayatollah Khamenei's funeral. Saudi Arabia reportedly attempted to stop the flight, but ultimately did not. There's been no direct official air link between Iran and Ansarallah-controlled Sana'a for nearly 10 years. The Ansarallah is the Houthis. Sana's airport itself has repeatedly been attacked and its only passenger aircraft destroyed in an Israeli attack last year. Iranian analysts argue this flight, intended to be the first of many, if sustained, it would represent the gradual breaking of Yemen's air siege and the establishment of a permanent Tehran-Sana corridor for diplomatic, commercial, and broader strategic ties. Viewed alongside Hormuz and Lebanon, the flight reflects a broader Iranian post-war strategy. Tehran appears intent on using leverage it gained during the war to reshape the regional balance in its favor. Sina Tusi has explained all of this here. This means not only easing pressure on Iran itself, but on its axis of resistance allies, from using the MOU to press for Israeli withdrawal from Lebanon to now challenging the decade-long isolation of Sana. I'll show you right here an Italian blogger's amazement at the crowds on the street in Tehran. You can see for yourself his amazement. As I noted earlier in the video as well, while all of this was going on, Netanyahu's Israeli forces continued military operations across southern Lebanon on Saturday, despite the recent U.S.-sponsored framework agreement. In one of the Nabatai areas, Israeli warplanes struck a residential building in Nabatai Foka, while Israeli forces demolished multiple buildings in Kafar Temnit. Elsewhere, artillery, tank fire, helicopter gunfire, drones, and quadcopters were reported across Bin Jabil, Tyre, Sur, and the Margion districts. You can see that right here. I'll just try to show you some other video footage here just so you can get the full scope of everything. I'll first show you what Donald Trump said, though, when Donald Trump said that he would consider, this is what he said yesterday, that he would blow up all the bridges in Iran again. We could do this the easy way or the hard way, he said. You can listen to what he said for yourself right here. Let's play it.
Look, we're going to win one way or the other. We're either going to make a deal or we're going to finish the job, okay? And it won't be tough to finish the job. I'd rather make a deal because I don't want to affect 91 million people. We can knock down their bridges in 1 hour. We can knock out their energy supply, all of those big plants that they built, big, beautiful, modern plants. They had a lot of money. They don't have any money now. We haven't given them any money. But we can knock out their electricity and power generating plants in, I would say, a small part of an afternoon. Every plant will be gone. And they know that.
And then I'll just show you what it looked like 8 hours since the beginning of the funeral ceremony for Ayatollah Khamenei. And you can see what it looked like over there. Let's play it. There you have it, folks. Let me know what you think. Hit subscribe. Let's get to 7 million subscribers. Thanks for watching, y'all. I appreciate it. Just want to show you what it looks like. Want to stay plugged in? Become a subscriber to our Substack at MeidasPlus.com. You'll get daily recaps from Ron Filipkowski, ad-free episodes of our podcast, and more exclusive content only available at MeidasPlus.com.